好，确实啊。我按了吗？开始了，开始了。
Okay, very good afternoon to teacher and my fellow classmates. My group consists of Ding Zhaojian, Ariston Chan, Lu Meng, and myself, Bu Fan. Today, my group and I will be presenting to you about conflict management. So this is an online for presentation. We will cover the introduction of case, financial benefit versus damage to the nature, miscommunication, what we learn from this case study, and finally Q&A. So I will talk about the introduction part. So before I start, many of you may ask, what is conflict management and why do we need conflict management? So first, I will explain the concept of the conflict management. Conflict management involves implementing the certain strategies to eliminating the negative aspects of conflict while increasing the positive aspects of conflict, and to enhance the performance and the effectiveness in an organized fighting. So other than eliminating the disagreement, the purpose of the conflict management is to teach us the conflict resolution skills such as effective communication skills, compromising, forcing, and so on. So these skills will assist us in establishing positive outcomes from a conflict. So based on our definition and the purpose of the conflict management, the case study we choose is quite popular and well known in recent years, and it really affects our daily lives. I think at that period, the business for selling the mask is quite good. So from the picture and my description previous, I guess you already know what I'm talking about next. Yes, it's a case. So it's really affect to our daily lives, and I think it come a few weeks ago. So what causing the case? Well, in Indonesia, we can see every year Indonesia sees agricultural fair in Riau province, in North and South Sumatra, and part of Kalimantan. So they often burn the agriculture, then the fair spin out of control and spread into the protected forest area. And the reason for burning the forest and the peatland, I will let my partner Ding Zhaojian elaborate more. So I will talk some healthy issue about the haze. So why haze can affect our health? Haze contains dust and smoke particles. Due to the small size of the particles, it can easily go deep into our lungs. So if we take X-rays to our lungs, you can see there are many particles attached on our lung. So these particles can remain in our body for more than 5 years. And due to the incomplete combustion, they are also produce the carbon monoxide. So the carbon monoxide will cause the inactivation of our red blood cell. The function of our red blood cell is to transport oxygen to our brain. So if we breathe in too much carbon monoxide, it will cause serious damage to our brain. So, and also if you are a long time stay in the haze environment, it will also cause irritation to our eyes, nose, and throat. So not only the haze not only affect our health, but also affect some business, including international conference or tourism. As we all know, Singapore are called Garden City. So if the tourists come to Singapore during the haze time, this will give them a bad impression of Singapore. So next, I will pass to Zhaojian, let him elaborate more about the financial benefits and the damages.
Thanks, Bufan. As we know that the haze is caused by the forest fire, and there are two main causes of the forest fire. One is natural. It is caused by the natural phenomena such as lightning, spark from the rockfall and spontaneous combustion and volcano eruption. And the other one is due to the human activities such as the slash and burn. And especially in Indonesia, they use slash and burn as a way, as a method to clear the exhaust farmland for the next season's crop, and also for the expansion for the farmland. So this one is the picture shows that after the slash and burn method, what it looks like of the forest. And then, to be more intuitive, I would like to show you a comparison between the modern and traditional method. The traditional method implies the slash and burn. So the modern method, they use machinery to rake the plant materials flat and then leave it, let it rot. And in the process, many pests will be harbored inside the materials, and you need to kill them using the pesticide. And the pesticide is acidic, so you need to neutralize the acidic soil and also to fertilize, to let the soil to be ready for farm purpose. So you need to fertilize them again, and the cost is like $200 per hectare. And comparing to the traditional method, which is slash and burn, they basically set fire on the material. And in the process, the pests will be killed, and ash will be used as fertilizer. And there is no pH change in the soil, so it's very easy. And the cost is like $5. So it's like 40 times. So companies will use this like reduce of cost. This reduce of cost can be used to increase the revenue of the companies, and it's very hard to monitor as the forest is very, very big. And it not only takes effort for the government, for the Indonesian government to monitor it, but also to stop it. And then I will show the law of what happened in 1997. This figure shows the actual loss due to the fire and haze during that year. It is 9K, and it is US dollar, it's not rupiah. So comparing to the $195 earned per hectare, I do a very simple math. To break even, I divide the loss to the gain per hectare. I get 46 million hectare. Means that you need to burn at least 46 million hectare to get the revenue and break even the loss. I don't think, and maybe you don't know the size of this hectare. I convert it to the size of Singapore. It's 46 times, so it's very, 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 very big. So I don't think it's wise for the government to let this kind of thing to happen. And I also see that many of us actually blame the government, the Indonesian government, that they didn't monitor this well. Well, in my opinion, it's not they don't want to monitor it. It's the lack of ability. It's too big. And also, many of the foreign investor companies are doing this kind of thing, cause the fire. And it's our responsibility to stop this. I'll pass to Aristotle, and he will talk about the miscommunication between Singapore and Indonesia.
Okay, I'm Aristotle, and I will now be presenting on miscommunications. Before the haze arrived, Singapore has offered to help in combating the haze by offering to deploy 3 C-130s aircraft for their effort to fight the fire. And despite the assistance being offered since 2005, which is a yearly event, every year Singapore will offer to help. This year, Indonesia has refused the help, claiming that they cannot accept any help without a bilateral agreement. And at the same time, they tell reporters that they are not aware of Singapore offering any help, and that they will go back and check if there is an offer for help. So this one, as you can see, right, there's haze appearing and it's a yearly event. So as Singapore, as the time rolls around, they want to send help. And they told Indonesia that they would like to provide assistance to control the situation. But for Indonesia, as you can see, their mindset is they cannot accept help unless there is a regional agreement between the two countries. Therefore, they reply with, there's no need for the help, as they cannot accept it unless there is an agreement beforehand to allow another country to assist them. But for the past few years, there is no such bilateral agreement between Singapore and Indonesia. And they still accepted Singapore's offer for help. But only for this year, they did not, for some reason. And I think it can be attributed to the internal personnel responsible for communicating with the reporters and the outside, right? They did not communicate with each other as to what issue is going on, and they did not clarify with each other what they can do and what they cannot do. So without this information sharing internally, they cause a conflict between the way they present the stance of their country, which made people who view the conversation between them feels weird. It's like, for the past few years, Singapore has been offering help and they have been accepting our help. But why this year they refuse the help on the grounds that there is no previous agreement, when previously there is also no bilateral agreement between the two countries? Actually, the Indonesia accepted help from Singapore is based on the ASEAN Agreement on the Transboundary Haze Pollution Act, which allows them to assist the country in managing the forest fires and all when it occurs. So internally, they have miscommunication, which should not occur. Now I will pass on to Lu Meng to speak more on what we can learn from this case study. Lu Meng, please.
Next, I will talk about what can we learn from these case studies. There are five types of strategy in conflict management. I think we should choose different strategies depends on different situation. So according to our case study, I think Singapore used both competing and collaborating strategy to deal with the conflict. We'll talk about how Singapore used the competing strategy. As a victim of this conflict, Singapore was faced a huge economic loss and environmental pollution. In this kind of emergency situation, Singapore government expressed the concern over the haze and called on Indonesia to do more to resolve the issues. The reason why Singapore used the competing strategy in this situation is because Singapore want to Indonesia realize the haze problem was very serious already, and they need to Indonesia to solve the issue quickly. However, the Indonesian official was unhappy about the Singapore demand. For example, the Indonesian vice president have some irresponsible comments. So what we can learn for this community strategy is good for quick action and also can arise the other party attention on the issues. But meanwhile, it will affect the relationship between both parties. So we talk about collaborating strategy. Singapore has never stopped expressing the willing to offer the help to the Indonesians. Singapore keep trying to collaborate with Indonesia to resolve the problem together. And because Singapore believes the teamwork can always bring the win-win result. And finally, Indonesia accept the offer. The Singapore sent the Air Force to fight the haze with Indonesia together. And after Indonesia reviewed the company APP was contributing to the haze, the Singapore take action to withdraw all APP paper product from whole supermarket immediately. So it showed the support for collaborations. And to avoid the conflict in the future, the joint haze monitor system was implemented on ASEAN Summit. So what we can learn for this
collaborating strategy is collaborating. We can solve the problem from the root by collaboration, and through the further closing collaboration, it may also improve the relationship between the both parties. Meanwhile, it costs more time and more energy to work on. However, it is worthwhile. And the most we can learn from this case study is Singapore has been always keeping the positive communication and attitude towards the conflict, in spite of the Indonesian Vice President in response to comments or Indonesia refused Singapore help offers. So there's no doubt communication is the key in the conflict management. So it's the whole our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.